Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Today we will be continuing our classes about the different types of tenses in the English language. So, in the first class we said that there are 12 tenses in the English language. So far we talked about one tense. The tense that we talked about in last class was the present simple tense. Today's class, we will be talking about the next tense, which is the present continuous tense.
maanta waxaaynu sii wadaynaa classeska grammarka. Hore waxaaynu u soo xusnay in ay jiraan 12 tenses oo asaasi ah. Classkii hore waxaaynu ka hadalnay present simple tense. Maanta waxaaynu ka hadlaynaa present continuous tense.
The present continuous tense. We said every single tense is broken up into 3 categories. And we will mention this every class until we understand this simple concept. So every single tense, it's broken up into 3 categories. The first category is the usage. So when will you use this tense? The tense we're talking about today is the present continuous tense. When will we use it? What are some examples? What are the situations in which we will use this tense? The second category is called signal words. So these are the key words that you will use whenever you use this tense. So what are the types of words that we will use whenever we want to use this tense? And then the third category will be the format. So how can we build a sentence using this tense? What is the grammar format? What is the structure? So those are the 3 categories we will cover in today's class: usage, signal or keywords, and format.
Tense kasta waxaynu u kala jabinaynaa 3 qaybood. Qaybta koowaad waxaynu ku qaadanaynaa usage-ka oo ah xaaladda aynu u isticmaalayno ama goorta ay ku habboon tahay inaan isticmaalno. Qaybta labaad waxaynu ku faahfaahinaynaa keywords-ka oo ah kelmaddan ku habboon in lagu sameeyo sentence-ka. qaybta saddexaad waxaynu ka fargaranaynaa ama aynu dhiganaynaa formatka iyo formka, habka ay u dhacayso kelmaddan iyo sida loo sameynayo.
The first category that we will cover is usage. So when will we use this tense? What is the tense? The tense we will be talking about today is present continuous tense. So when do we use the present continuous tense? We will use this tense. I will give you 4 examples of when this tense is usually used. For example, this tense can be used when you're talking about things which are happening at the exact moment you're speaking. So right now I'm speaking. While I'm speaking, some things are happening. You will use this tense to explain those things. So for example, right now, while I am recording this class, it starts to rain outside. So I say, don't go out. It's raining outside right now. It's something that's happening while I'm speaking right now. So this is an example of a present continuous tense. This is an example of a present continuous tense.
qaybta koowaad waxaynu ku qaadanaynaa isticmaalka. Xaaladda aynu isticmaalaynaa maxay tahay? Waxaad isticmaalaysaa marka aad ka hadlaysid xaalad dhacday xilliga aad taagan tahay. Tusaale ahaan, adiga oo qof la hadlaya ayaa uu roob soo da'ay. Markaas waxaad ku tidhi, don't go out, it's raining. Ha bixin, roob ayaa da'aya.
Another example is you want to talk about things that are always happening. It's happening again and again. So maybe you're complaining about something. So for example, I'm a teacher, I see a student in class, he's always talking. So I say he's always talking in class. The mar walba wuu hadlaya. He's in class, he's always talking. So this is an example of a present continuous tense. So when you see something that's always happening and you want to complain about it, you will use this tense.
xaaladda labaad ee aad ku isticmaalaysaa waxa ay tahay marka aad doonaysid in aad ka hadashid xaalad soo noqnoqonaysa. tusaale ahaan arday ayaa had iyo jeer klaaska ka dhex hadla, markaas ayaa uu macalinka yidhi he's always talking in the class. mar walba klaaska ayaa uu ka dhex hadlaya.
Another example, you want to talk about things that are planned or arranged in the near future. So it's going to happen in the future, but not too far out in the future. Not in a year, not in a few months, just something that might happen tomorrow. So for example, you say, I'm leaving to Berbere tomorrow. Beritola waxaan tegayaa Berbere. You're going to Berbere tomorrow. This is an example of present continuous tense. You're talking about something that will happen in the near future.
xaaladda kale ee aynu isticmaalaynaa waxa ay tahay marka aynu cabirayno wax dhici doona mustaqbalka dhow. caawa, berri, saa dambe. tusaale ahaan berbere ayaanu baxayaa beritoole.
Another example, you want to talk about things that are changing, that are developing, that are changing. waxay jirta wax isbedel, something is changing or developing. So now you, for example, you notice in Hargeisa the schools that teach English, they're shrinking. Not a lot of students are learning English anymore. So there's a change. So you say more and more English schools are shrinking nowadays. They're getting smaller nowadays. This is something you're talking about something that's changing.
xaaladda kale aan isticmaalayno waxa ay tahay marka aynu ka hadlayno wax isbedelaya. tusaale ahaan, more and more English schools are shrinking nowadays. iskuulada Englishka lagu barto waa ay soo yaraanayaan maalinba maalinka ka dambaysa.
So category number 1 is usages. When will we use the present continuous tense? We will use it in those 4 situations. When you're talking about something that happens while you're speaking. There's something that's happening right now while I'm speaking. It's raining outside. Or you want to talk about something that's happening again and again, always happening. You're complaining about something. Or you want to talk about something that will happen, you planned or you arranged something in the near future. So you said, tomorrow I'm going to Berbera. Or you want to talk about something it's changing or it's developing. These are 4 examples that you will use when you want to use the present continuous tense. Category number 2, what are some key words or some signal words you will use in the present continuous tense? So every single tense has specific words that you use. Right now, when I want to make a sentence in the present continuous tense, I need to be able to use words to explain or to create a proper sentence.
qaybta labaad waa keywords. keywords waxa weeyaan kelmadda ku habboon inaad ku hadashid marka aad isticmaalaysid tenskan. hadda waxaynu xusaynaa tusaalayaal ka mid ah keywordska.
So for example, you can use the words at the moment. At the moment, for example, at the moment, it's raining outside. Or you can use the words now, or just now. Or you can use the words right now. Now, just now, or you can say right now. Right now, I am seeing that it's raining outside. Just now it started to rain. Now it's raining. You can use the word look. So for example, look, it's raining outside. Or you can use the word listen. Listen, it's raining outside. So these are key words or signal words. If you hear them or you read it, you will know that you are reading something or hearing something in the present continuous tense. Or you want to speak about something that's changing, that's happening all the time, gonna happen in the near future, or something that's happening while you're speaking, you can use these words to help you. Category number 3 is the format. So now I want to make a sentence in the present continuous tense. How will I do that? So what is the proper grammar format or the equation that I need to follow to make a correct sentence that's grammatically correct in the English language? So the format for the present continuous tense, it's very simple. It's even more simple than the simple tense. It will be split into 2 categories. So the first category we explained in the last class, positive, negative, and a question.
qaybta saddexaad waxa weeyaan format, qaab dhismeedka loo dhisayo sentence-ka. Tense-kan formatkiisa waxaa loo kala jebiyaa 2 qaybood. qaybta koowaad waxa weeyaan qaab dhismeedka sentence-ka. qaab dhismeedku waxa uu u sii kala jabaa 3 qaybood oo yaryar: positive, negative, iyo question.
So a positive is something that's happening. So for example, she's writing to her grandma now. She is writing to her grandma now. It's positive. It's something that she's doing. Negative is you negate it. You're saying she's not writing. She isn't writing. So you're saying it's not happening. She isn't writing to her grandma now. And then a question is when you want to ask something. So for example, is she writing to her grandma now? You want to know if she's writing. You're asking something. So those 3 categories is the first category. So positive, negative, question. When you're making a positive sentence, how will you do it? When you're making a negative sentence, how will you do it? When you're asking a question, how will you ask that question? That's the first category.
Positive xaalad taagan waxa ay u qoraysaa ayaydeed. Negative diidmo uma qorayso ayaydeed. Question su'aal miya ay u qoraysaa ayaydeed.
So you must know, is your sentence positive, is it negative, or is it a question? The second category is the equation, is the format. So every category, the positive, the negative, and the question, the format is very similar, but there's a small change in each one.
qaybta labaad format waa qaacido taas oo la isku rakibo 3 shay.
For the positive, you will first talk about the subject. So the subject, who are you talking about? What is being talked about? Is it a girl, she, he? Are you going to use somebody's name, Jamal? What is being talked? The subject is what is being talked about. After you have the subject, you will use the words am, is, or are. Only those 3 words are available for the present continuous tense. Am, is, or are. Then you will add the verb. So what's the action being done? And then you will add the letters I and G to the verb.
Marka uu yahay positive, 3 shay ee aan isku daraynaa waxa ay yihiin subject lagu daray, is, am, are lagu daray, verbkaas oo ku dhamaanaya ing.
So, for example, you say, she is writing. She is the subject. Is, remember we said we'll use am, is, or are. So we just use the word is. She is, and then the verb is right. She is right, but remember you will add ing, writing. She is writing. That's it. She is writing to her grandma now. Positive.
tusaale ahaan she is writing to her grandma. She subject is marka lagu daro write waxay qaadanaysaa ing iyada oo noqonaysa writing.
Negative is the exact same, except after you use the words am, is, or are, you will just add the word not. So for example, she is not writing to her grandma now. She isn't writing to her grandma now. So all you did was you added the word not. She is not writing to her grandma now.
Negative waa isku mid, keliyata waxa ay ku kala duwan yihiin. Waxa aad ku daraysaa not taas oo dhacaysa is am are dabadooda. Tusaale ahaan, she is not writing to her grandma.
And then the question, again, it's the exact same, except the words am, is, or are comes before the subject. So if you remember, when I said she is writing, she is the subject. Now the subject will be second. So you will say, is she writing? Is she writing to her grandma now? Positive, she is writing. Question, is she writing? So is, am, and are comes before the subject. That's it. And the last thing, you just add a question mark at the end of the sentence. Is she writing to her grandma now? Question mark.
Question wax kale kuma kala duwana, waxaad soo horreysiinaysaa oo keliyata am, is, are marka aad qoraysid. Taasay soo hormarayaan subjectka. Tusaale ahaan, is she writing to her grandma?
So, very simple. It's just those two categories. Positive, negative question, and the format, the equation. This concludes our tense class for today, present continuous tense. Inshallah, tomorrow we will be continuing with the present perfect tense. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.